In the cut.
Yo, what is up? What's going on, everybody? We are live. We are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of In the Cut podcast. First and foremost, welcome, guys. You guys don't know who I am. I'm Jonathan. I'm 27 years young, and I'm super excited that we're here doing this. Honestly, this is my first time doing anything like this, and shout out to my man. My right-hand man in the building, Pedro. Talk to him.
What's going on, everybody? Hope everyone's having a wonderful night, man. I'm excited to start the journey with my brother, and man, let's get it, man. I'm excited. Let's go. Sip or something.
Yo, can we get a virtual cheers?
Right.
Salute, my brother. We got a few people. You got some people in here. Sam, what's going on? Kathy, what's going on? Despierta in the building. What's going on? Represent. Jessica in the building. Let me know where y'all coming from. I know a majority of you guys are in New York, though. Shout out to New York.
Listen, we're coming.
Yeah.
We're coming.
So let's talk about why we even here. One of the main reasons why I wanted to start this podcast, first and foremost, is because we in some special times right now where we in quarantine. We all under house arrest. Why not be creative and bring the world a little bit closer, through these episodes, man. And I've never done anything like this. Like I said, obviously, I honestly we were talking for like the past 10 minutes. I thought we was already live. We wasn't even live. But
it was getting hot. It was getting real too.
We was going in, and I'm like, wait a minute, it didn't even start.
Yeah, that was fun.
Here we go. But me personally, I've been doing a lot of not only personal development, just a lot of studying, man. Just studying different types of role models, and that's just something I didn't have. Growing up, personally, I didn't really have anyone that was like. That I could physically be like, hey, this is a guy that I want to be like, or this is a person I want to have their lifestyle. And through this journey as an entrepreneur, as a barber, as a just a young kid from Queens, just trying to find clarity. I've been able to, I think me and you, honestly, we have some pretty unique stories that we've been able to learn and find a lot of truths about this life that I think that we could bring some value and put it on the table out there for whoever wants to hear this. And we'll talk about how we even started, but um, you know, people don't know. Like people look at us and think that we related, like
Yeah,
and people really don't know. Like I didn't know Pedro from a hole in the wall. Like we met playing basketball. We was just always mutual on the court, always good guys, always laughing, and then we versed each other one day, hit him with the little crossover, the Hezzy and the Jimmy,
man, you're gonna live and die.
and yeah, man, nah. But we definitely met playing ball, and moving forward, we became lifelong, not only friends but business partners moving forward, and I think that, like I said, like we've been from the years that we've known each other, man, we've been through a lot of different things, entrepreneurial wise, family wise, business wise, just grown men type stuff. And I'm excited that you even on here. Thank you for jumping along on board on this and sharing your 2 cents, man. Because man, you were the type of person that I've seen your growth in the past couple of years, and definitely not the same person when I met you. And I think there's a lot to learn from someone like you. So I'm glad to have you on here, man.
That's the advice, bro.
So let's talk about it real quick. Play around with this. This is the first time I'm using this
Yeah,
to stream, but we got some cool little features. So let's talk about it like this. Pete, tell them who you are, man. Who is Pedro?
I mean, for those who don't know me, right? I'm pretty much Pedro from 41 years old, man. I met Jonathan about what? When I was 35 years old. So I'm from the Philippines, right? I was born in the Philippines. I lived in Australia. That was pretty cool. I lived in Australia for like 4 years, right? I got brothers and sisters out there. I got family out there. So if you guys want to go there with me, we can go out there. And I moved out here when I was about 11. Life, it was a culture shock because I didn't really know a lot. Like I didn't know anyone at all. But before I met Jonathan, man, like growing up, it's been a blessing to have wonderful parents. Uh, I work for the city hospitals. I've been doing that for so long, right? And but now we're here, so we're just here. We want to actually bring something that we experienced. That besides myself, but my experience with Jonathan. You know what I mean? And doing this journey that we've been having in the past 6 years, and now we have something new going on, and this is gonna actually take it to the next level, and I can't wait for that. And yeah, that's about it, man. Let's just get it, let's just get it going, bro.
So let's talk about this, right? Like,
Sorry, man, I'm all over the place right
so
now.
who?
It's crazy.
So talk about it, man. Like, prior to me meeting you, bro, what was your lifestyle like? Or who, growing up, like, where'd you come from?
Bro, I came from Jackson Heights, Queens.
Jackson Heights, Queens.
Yeah,
I know.
that's where I came from, man.
The center of Queens.
I was just from a kid from Queens, bro. I went to high school, Bryan High School. Like most of my people from my neighborhood. Then I met my wife at a real young age, so that was a blessing, right? Without her, I think I'd probably be all over the place like right now. But yeah, man, I'm a family man, 2 kids, and I mean, I don't know what else you want me to tell you, bro.
How old you had your kids?
At 28.
28. You think that was a blessing or a curse?
Oh man, I haven't slept ever since. Right?
Hmm.
I mean, it's definitely a blessing, man. I mean, people can call me however they want to call me, but you can't take fatherhood away from me. That's something I love to do. That's something like I'll do it every day, every
Yeah,
second.
that's definitely one of the things that I admire mostly about you, bro. Is just your fathership skills and just as a person that I would want to emulate moving forward, man. Growing up, man. So fast forward, you grew up in Queens, went to high school. Funny, I went to Bryan High School too. And then you was into school. Were you the dude that was on time for class?
I really wasn't, as much as I always knew at a young age, like my mother would always like hit me, like, no, go to school, do this. But I always thought, man, there's someone out there that's doing, what I want to do. Because I have something that I like, that they have, and they don't have to do it anyway. So I always knew there was something out there that's definitely that's gonna actually make a dream come true. Like, I knew that at such a young age. So that was I always had that vision, like I know there's something out there. I just didn't know how to get it. You know what I mean? Like no one showed me how to get it. So how am I supposed to know? It's just that's why this whole thing that we're doing right now is how are we doing it? How like, we found a lane. You know what I'm saying? We found a lane. Regular people that you probably look at it from down the block, like who are these guys? But you know what? We can bring something to the table, and here we are. And I promise you, we're gonna bring something to the table That's exactly what's gonna happen. So just keep tuning in, man. It's gonna be fun. You know. Next.
Perfect, man. Nah, yeah. So I'm glad you brought that stuff up as well, man, because and which leads me to the where we met, right? Like we met basically as my introduction to entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, basketball we met, right? Like basketball was the premise that we met, but like the interaction was based purely off of entrepreneurship and networking. Something that I was working on at the time. Like I wasn't the guy that I was a super introverted person growing up. I was the guy that wouldn't really, be excited to make connections. Like if we was just me and you in the elevator, you ain't getting a word out of me. Just the type of dude that I was back then. And, you know, again, me growing as an entrepreneur, I understood that, your network is your net worth. And right, people say that all the time. And I didn't realize what that meant until I realized, like, damn, one of my biggest things I should have done growing up since elementary school was like, yo, let me go make some more friends. So
It wasn't easy.
Sorellis, what's going on? What's going on? But yeah, so so now I met you on the entrepreneur tip, right? And obviously for those that don't know how we met, it was obviously again through basketball. But I met him on the entrepreneur tip because I was working on something big. I was part of network marketing, and obviously I saw something in Pedro that I was like, yo, bro, this is a guy that I want to. Not only do I want to just kick it with him because we're cool on the court, but this is a dude I just want to genuinely be friends with. So I introduced myself, and we kicked it off from there. Became real good friends, and then future business partners from then on. But as your journey, we'll talk about the journey of the entrepreneur life after, because that whole life switched up
It's
right after there, right?
There goes the lane, man. That was the beginning.
Yeah, me, so I'll tell you a little bit about myself, right? For a lot of people that may or may not be seeing this, that don't know who I am, I saw this, I saw this information, No, me growing up, again, super introverted, grew up in Queens, super conservative household. Statistically, I should have been a nurse somewhere. And my respects to the first responders out there. I know we're going through some tough times, but it was just something I wasn't genuinely passionate about. And I was just like coming out of college. I'm just like, yo, what am I gonna do? What route is there to take? What if someone with my skill set? How can I win in life? And I knew I was, it wasn't even about like, I wasn't talented or skillful at something. I just didn't know where I could apply it to that it made sense for me. And long story short, I started working super early. I was working since I was like 14. Prior to that, I did a bunch of other jobs, just different things to make money, sell sneakers, the whole nine. And, selling sneakers was my first taste at like reselling was like I guess you could say that was my first taste at entrepreneurship, and sales, more sales than entrepreneurship. But, it led me towards there. And, I worked jobs, 14, I worked in an office, clerical work. I was always at work on time. I always finished my work super early to the point where I was like, had nothing to do in the office. I was falling asleep. Moving forward, from there after that job, what was my next job at 14? I started, we used to do the street fairs, right? Me and my cousins, we used to do the street fairs. We used to do make pina coladas, iced teas. We was doing that for in the summertime. And then, coming over that, my next job was really working with kids. I worked with kids for like 5 years. One of the for me, one of the most fulfilling jobs that I've ever even taken on. Something that I would have done for the rest of my life, like teaching sports. I love playing sports, and it's like for me to get paid to teach and play sports, like that was fun. I would have loved doing it, but it was something that as much as I loved doing that part, I understood there were some things about that system that I personally didn't respect. Like I didn't respect that, like it was such a, just like a lot of industries, it's such a cutthroat industry. Like, you could, God forbid you lose a kid, right, on a field trip. Forget it. You're not working with kids ever again. Thank God that never happened to me, but I just knew it was such an industry that could have, you work so hard for years of school and money and time into that industry and into that profession. I'm sorry. And then, it could be taken right from under you. And that was my wake up call, into like like that was like, it wasn't my wake up call to entrepreneurship, but again, that was me just like, I'm looking for something, right? And I need a pina colada, right? Yeah, pina colada would be good right now. But we got some tea. So I'll talk to you about that story real quick. Like, Pete, the story about me, going into that story about me working with the kids, man, I'll tell you, I basically got let go from that job. And long story short, I thought I was gonna have the job, but I was let go, kind of without notice. And I'm just like, damn, this is like my last chance to ever work with kids. And it kind of gave me this feeling like, yo, I can't let anybody else have control of how my finances were. But in the bigger picture, on how my life was dictated. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I wrap my whole mind around, this is going to be my life's job here, working with these kids, but someone can take it away from me with all my hard work and effort to get there. I was just like, damn, I don't know if I want to fully invest with this. Let me go find another way possibly to help out kids and stuff like that, which eventually I ended up doing. So, that was my introduction to like, yo, I need to go find something. I need more clarity, and so now here we are talking about how we got here. Personally, I think one of the main reasons why I wanted to do, think that I think that we have, everyone is trying to get to a destination, and they're trying to find their route. We got the GP. Everyone has their GPS on, trying to make it to XYZ destination, right? You want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be a YouTuber, own a barbershop, own your own restaurant, you want a lawyer, doctor. Everyone has their own thing, right? I think really what we're like, one of the main things I want to do here is, just give people clarity on, furthering and being sure of what they want to do, and just, through my stories, through my truths, to the stuff that I, was able to experience along this journey as being an entrepreneur. And one of the things that I understood the most was just one of the problems I had growing up was, it wasn't even the GPS on the route to get there. I just didn't even know where the heck to go. I know that there's a lot of people in school right now, and I have nothing against education, just more on the system of education, where I know there's a lot of people in school right now that don't know why they're there. They're there because mom and dad say, hey, look, go to school. And, which is cool. Like, obviously I'm going to tell my kids to go to school as well, for all the, the other aspects besides leading them to a good job. But, I knew that being in that system wasn't going to be, it wasn't going to take me to where I physically wanted to be, because I wanted to live a life of abundancy. Man, I grew up in a, single household, single mom household. And, I knew that I wanted to be able to provide. And, again, the only people that I knew that were providing on a scale that could provide for more than themselves were a lot of people that were entrepreneurs, right? Honestly, role models growing up, people that were rapping, people that were playing ball. As much as I wanted to play ball, God cut that super short for us. But it was my introduction. And I think that a lot of people, they're looking for their route. They're focused on the route, the how-tos, but I think a lot of people aren't focused on, well, what's your end goal? Where do you even want to be at? You're following this GPS, but you didn't even know what the end goal is. And that was one of the first things that struck me. I'm like, yo, I'm really going, like, there's people really going into debt, right? One of the biggest debts, if not the biggest debt, is student loan debt. And one of the biggest things was like, how are these people so deep in that game, or like so focused on their route, but they don't know what the end goal is? And that was one of the biggest things that I could do for myself was, listen, Jive, this is your end goal. This is what you want your house to look like. This is what you want your car to look like. This is what you want your lifestyle to be like, your work-life balance. This is what you like. I knew I had to figure that out before I had to figure out what kind of occupation, what kind of job, what kind of entrepreneurial venture that I could have been in to even get to that, to get me there. Because I again, common sense to me, I had a lot of common sense. I wasn't the smartest kid in the room, but I had a lot of common sense. Like, I knew that if you wanted a Lamborghini, then you couldn't be like, you know, a nurse working 9 to 5. Like I haven't seen that many nurses own one, you know. And again, it's a very materialistic goal, but it's practicality. You know what I'm saying? Am I saying that was my goal? No, but I just knew that that made sense. You know what I'm saying? So that's where one of the main things I want to put that out on the table here, and what we're going to be doing with this podcast is just, you know, through the small truths that I was able to find, just being in the cut, right? Being in the cut, and you know, being at the right place at the right time in certain occasions, being at the right room at the right time with the right people at the right time. You know, it just, you know, I was able to learn so much clarity that, you know, my surrounding group of, you know, my surrounding peers, you know, prior to me getting, you know, involved with entrepreneurship or anything like that, you know, I knew that I couldn't find it there. You know, so I had to go out and look, you know, which is, I know, hard for a lot of people. So, you know, talk to me about, you know, Pete, talk to me about after, you know, how you know, after, so now we meet, business partners, we both do network marketing, and we building. You know, what was your journey like? What was your switch like? How was your lifestyle like?
I mean, that was definitely ever happened, man. Again, it just, I think the only thing I was pissed off about is that I met you at that time. Like, I wish I would have met you earlier, but again, you know, our age difference kind of so far apart that that wasn't even possible, you know. But yeah, at the end of the day, I get it. It's God's timing, and I'm glad it happened at that moment because again, my life was all over the place, you know, and it's what's a great journey because I found out exactly who I was. I found out exactly, like, you know, like life can't be just lived in one spot, you know. Like, I knew there was something else, and you coming into my life, bro, you actually, like, it was how am I gonna say this, bro? You was such a young like, guy at that time, bro. You was 20, I was 35, right? Like, I wasn't even supposed to listen to you. So me listening to you, man, I don't even know why I did that, but thank God I did because you kind of rerouted everything, bro. You shifted my energy. You shifted everything. So I thank you for that. You know, like my probably, like, my wife is grateful for everything that's been happening in the last 7 years. You know, life's been different. I'm definitely not the person I was before. Because of that journey, I'm also glad that that besides you, we bump into a bunch of great, amazing people even until today, and they actually help me a lot as well. Listen to a bunch of them. You know, I have, you know, and well, I can't even, through words, bro. I can't even, like, explain. But I will ride. I will ride. One thing I did learn though was I see the picture clear now. You know, like, I can see the picture clear. Like, when you said you gotta have everything clear in your mind, that wasn't clear, and I was 35, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I want, and I know where I want to go. Like, I can't even say I know where I want to be, but I just didn't know where to start, right? And me meeting you, bro, it started everything. Like, everything, bro. And because of that, that energy fed off to my wife, and now she's about to start her own thing. So it's, I mean, I don't know how else to explain that. You just gotta feel that. You know what I mean? Like, as far as our journey, you can't. I mean, you can probably read about that because there's books about it, but there's nothing like experiencing the last 6 years of my life of entrepreneurship, and that's doing it like part time. You know?
Fire. Yeah, and you know, you also, you know, you first and foremost, like, being 35 and not having clarity is, first and foremost, being aware of that is a big deal, because people think they 25 and think they got it all together.
I wasn't trying to be too cool, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I had a wife and 2 kids. I had to think faster. Like, I was already thinking. I thought I was thinking fast. I wasn't thinking fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and just the beginning of my journey. Like, in the beginning, it wasn't easy as far as transitioning because I was so used to my habits. I was so used to everything I've been doing the last 35 years of my life that I had to switch it. You know, like, I had to make a decision quick. You know, I had to leave people. I had to change everything. I changed my mindset.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Like, when you leave people, how was that like?
It wasn't easy, man. It wasn't easy. When I say leave people, I didn't mean leaving them like I don't know you anymore. You know, like, oh, I don't even want, you know, it just leave them like I gotta love them from far away because they're out there and they're not going that way. You know what I mean? Like I just know like my friends, people around me wasn't going that way. I know I wanted something else in life. You know, I know talking about it all our lives growing up, like we want something more. Like who doesn't want more? We talk about being broke growing up. You know what I mean? Like we always talk about like we're gonna make it to the top. We're gonna make it to the top. And as you get older, you know, as the years go by, you're like, damn, that top keeps getting further up and further up. You know, like I thought we walked this mountain already. You know, but to just think about it, like you're just still looking up and it's far away. You know, like and we just I had to make sure that I had to take control of that. I wasn't gonna let anyone else dictate my future. You understand what I'm saying? Like I had a job which I've been working for so long. I get that, but I know there was something else out there, and I had to go get it. I know I had to take control of like everything. You know, financially, mentally, spiritually. I had to take control of myself.
Mm.
You know.
And I think that we are you are well on it, compared to the guy that I first met. And so and like I spoke about it, man. Just I knew that my current surroundings weren't gonna give me the answers I was looking for, so I had to reach outward. One of the main things I could really say that helped me out was I actually knew the answers that I was looking for specific answers, and I knew I knew where to look for them. And till this day, that's one of the things I've been doing. This quarantine, honestly, is one of the main things that I like about this quarantine is, it's helping a lot of people find themselves. People spend a lot of time alone. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
that's not easy.
Yeah, well, that's not. I'm sure it's
I
not.
don't even trust myself by myself.
Right.
I start thinking crazy. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit.
Yeah. No, it's true. Like,
it doesn't even exist, bro. And I just think of like the worst thing for no reason. Sometimes.
yeah,
Well, I had to work on that. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's what everyone else do. Like the worst. They think about the worst.
yeah. Trust me. A lot of people don't realize it's okay to be alone. Like,
It's the best thing.
you got to be comfortable with being with yourself. You know what I'm saying? At all times. Because the conversations you have with yourself. You have the most conversations you have is with yourself. And if you ain't protecting that in between here, then we got some problems. And then again, stuff that I learned again, with personal development, just growth as a human, man. I know I want to live a life of abundancy, and a life of abundancy is not meant for everybody. It's not meant. If it was meant for everybody, then everybody would have it. And I'm not talking only about financial. I'm talking about life of abundancy, physically, mentally, spiritually.
Everything.
And you got to be a quality individual to live that type of lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a quality individual. You got to learn some things. They're not just going to hand it to you on a silver plate saying, here you go, buddy. Here's the lifestyle you dreamed of.
I wish.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, moving forward, so, talk about it. Like, I know we both do network marketing. We have our own home-based business. We both have, I know you're a frontline worker. You're still at work. I'm at, obviously the whole barber industry right now is shot. Not to mention 20 plus million people out of work right now. But like, how do you feel, doing, having a 9 to 5 and working on something on the side as well?
I mean, all right, it's central, right? I mean, I have to go to work anyway, so at the end of the day, it is what it is. But I like helping people regardless. So it so happens to be that I work in a hospital. So whether they pay me or not, I just like to help anyways. You know what I mean? It sounds probably crazy to some people. You're right, he'll do that. You won't do that for free. Trust me, I help people on a regular for free. Like I don't mind helping people. That's just probably in me. Like I learned that growing up from my father. My father likes to help people out. Like I watched him help towns or different, like a bunch of different people. So that's always been in me, helping people. So I always like that. And as far as like this working on something on the side is very important because if say I wasn't essential, now what? You know what I'm saying? If I would have gotten fired, let's just say, now what? So it was that's why it's a blessing that we 6 years ago something like triggered me, something woke up, something switched, a switch turned on, and it didn't matter what it was. I just learned to see learned to acknowledge opportunities, and and actually tackle it. I mean, it's not always sweet, but I promise you, like I learned a lot from, doing, I can't say doing a bunch of different things, but I probably learned a lot of different things as the years went by. And because of that, I don't have to be in that situation during this quarantine where I have to worry about, like monetary problems. I thank God for that. And it wasn't always easy. Like as a team, my wife and I, we really had to work on that. I can't say myself. I worked on myself, yes, but if I say I'm in good because of myself, no, I'll be lying to you. You like that, babe?
Quick shout out to Kathy.
Mm.
So I respect that.
I had a partner. You know what I'm saying? If not, I wouldn't even.
Yeah, nah, I think your relationship is
It's
straight.
easier that way. That's what I'm just saying. That, you know what I mean? I can't.
Listen, I think you and Kathy's relationship is straight up goals. You got amazing family, amazing kids. Shout out to Eli doing our intro theme song. So again, it's something I would want to emulate as as I have my own family one day too. So I definitely, I wanted to talk about just stuff that you want to put on the table out there. People are going to be watching this. I think thousands of people are going to see this 5 to 10 years from now and just look back and be like,
damn. Like this one.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be fun. Well, I remember that one.
We're gonna have a lot of fun doing this first and foremost.
It's gonna get way better. I know it because I just felt it. I mean, the first one before this one, oh man, the heat was coming, and then we wasn't recording it. I mean, it is what it is. But,
right.
That's when I knew I was like, all right, we're gonna do this right. It's gonna get better every time, man.
Yeah, we're
gonna bring a lot of things to the table, man. I mean, I think the last year we experienced a lot of good, a lot of bad, a lot of failures. And I mean, I feel enough to actually, you know what I'm saying, to bring something out there and teach someone like, what to do and what not to do. You know what I mean? And we succeeded in a lot of stuff as well, especially now and then. Like just to tell everyone like it's never too late, especially if you're like my age, right? It's never too late. It's not that it's too late. It's probably you just feeling lazy, man. You just gotta get up. You know what I mean? You just gotta get up. If you're not where you want to be, you just gotta get up, bro. You know what I mean? It probably hurts. It hurts everyone. So you just gotta get up, do what you're supposed to do. You gotta man up. You gotta put the man pants on. And that's exactly what's gonna happen here. Because I was that guy at 35. Like I have no idea what was going on. I was lost. And I know I want more. And I know there's more. And I know I was gonna get more. I just didn't know where. Right? And this is it. This is the podcast you want to hear because we're gonna show you how to get there. Coming from these two regular people that you see from the streets or wherever. You know what I mean? So, and I promise you, man, I didn't do research. I'm not a research guy. I'm the let's go do this and let's see how that work guy. You know what I mean? So I can tell you this work and that don't work because I tried it. And it's not because I read it. You're going to actually get it from a primary source, right? So that's how it works.
Respect, man. And, I was, with that said, I was actually reading 50. 50 got a new book out. Shout out to that. Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter, right? And, he talks about his lifestyle too, man. 50, he's one of the people that, he always talks about how he doesn't smoke, right? He's not a smoker at all. Snoop Dogg will pass him a blunt and he'll just be like, nah, I'm not a smoker, and like to turn down Snoop Dogg, right? That's a big deal, right? But and he talks about these two different lives of people, man, like, and how people, back in the day, being hard was a thing, right? Like being hard was like if you came from the suburbs back then, man, you was a herb, you was a scrub. Like that's just how people was looking at you. And it if you had an aunt that lived in in the hood and you would hang out in the hood, you would pretend you were from there, even though you lived in the suburbs. Like, it was just the vibe that you wanted to be hard. And now we live in an age where being a nerd is one of the dopest things. Like being yourself is genuine, like people had to hide, like they watch anime, right? Like people don't realize I'm huge into anime, and people had to hide that stuff back in the day. Like God forbid someone found you watching Dragon Ball Z or Naruto, right? Like now people could be themselves and understand like it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I used to think that living two different lives was, it was like hanging in the streets and then coming home and having a family dinner with me and my mom every single day at 7 o'clock. Like I thought that was something that, I didn't think that it was something of value. I didn't think that was something to boast about, because all my friends at the time, when I got to be home at 7 o'clock, eat dinner with my family, then, my friends were all hanging out and chilling, and I'm just like, damn, I need to be out there. I need to be, putting my name out there on these streets and building a reputation of just being, being hard. And what I realized, man, having these two separate lives, man, it saved my life. It gave me a characteristic that I knew that, cool, I could handle being street smart, and I could also handle the respect of being in certain situations that the street mentality, the street attitude wouldn't get me into a room that, having the values and the respect of, being at home with my family and prioritizing that life would ever give me. You know what I'm saying? So I was real, just, that was something. Just grows. I love the suburbs. Yeah. Oh yeah, we got some anime fans in the building. So, again, that's just something that now it's cool. So I think that right now that's what again, just finding out my truths in this world. We've been able to, not only discover layers of ourselves that we didn't know about, but just putting it out there, just putting out who we are, and not putting up a front, man. It was just something that, again, I think it just saved my life, doing stuff like that. So, you know talk about, I want you to talk about, put it like this, right? We've been business partners for the first and foremost, but outside of business, talk about our relations outside of that, bro. Like, because we've then traveled around the world a few times, a bunch of different things. Hold on, I muted you. All right, here we go. Perfect.
Uh, I mean, we've been everywhere, bro. We've been cutting my hair everywhere, like that, right? Life's been good, man. My relationship with you, man. You're my brother, bro. I mean, I don't know how else to even explain that. Like, I can't call you my daddy, so you're my brother, right? Right? You're my brother, man. I love you for life, bro. You changed my life, man.
Think about, like, because obviously we are business partners, but outside of that, like like we've been on, like, one of the trips that we've been on. We've experienced a lot of different scenarios. Like, if I really go back at it, like, damn,
Yeah.
we a lot of stuff, bro.
Don't get a
Yeah, besides business, me and Pete, man, we all travel.
travel.
I see this guy literally like every 2 weeks cut this guy's hair, to the point where he learned how to cut his own hair during quarantine.
Right?
Um, you know, um, I think that, yeah, I think your energy is special, man. I think your energy is something that the world needs to feel, and because of this podcast, they're gonna hear it. And I think there's also a lot of people around your age that they think that, they pretty much set, they straight for life. And again, if they feel that way and they're content about it, cool. But I know there's a certain amount of people that's like, yo, there's more out there. But because I'm at this such age, I'm 40 something, that I'm just gonna live it out. You got a long time, my man. 40 is just getting good.
Sorry, yeah, that's
Bro,
crazy.
I see you at 40 and I'm like, yo, I'm excited.
I thought 40 years later, like that, like it was a blessing, bro. Like I see, I thank God, he blessed me with good health so far. I'm making people around me, man, family good, so and friends, and I can't even complain, bro. Like I can't wait for the next 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. I can't wait, man. I want to live to 150, bro. That's the plan, you know. So that's how that works, man. And I'm just really, I'm ready to do the next episode.
Well, so yeah. Well, let's cheers to that next episode, man. We definitely gonna be back in it.
This was, now I get what's going on. It's over. I just want to feel it out. It's working.
And we definitely gonna have a lot of people on here, man. We gonna have a lot of. think, like I said, like one of the best things about this journey is we've been able to meet some amazing people, and because of that, now not only do I have, not access to a lifestyle that I would have never even known about, but now I could go reach up. I can actually ask, for help in certain situations that I would have never gotten help from, man, with the people that I'm gonna, bring out here. Kathy says 40 is the new 20. Yes, I'm excited, bro. I'm telling you, bro, you make me excited to be 40, bro. You look the same age, the same age since the day that I met you.
Right, it seems like that.
So
That's why I look like.
Again, as we close this out, man, I think we, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this. I think there's gonna be a lot of people at the other end of this that can gain so much value and insight that.
Yeah, it's fun. We're gonna deliver at the end of the day. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, man. Like people are gonna know. Like and just as I'm discovering myself, man. Like I'm an entrepreneur at heart, and I think right now is one of those times where a lot of people are gonna be, a lot of people are at home with themselves right now, social distancing, quarantine, right? And I think Annie Jeff said 40 gonna be lit. Now you got everybody looking forward to 40.
Oh, you guys are 40? I can't wait.
Yo, yeah, man. So it's like,
I mean, watching you guys in the last 6 years, bro. I'm still studying, but people don't understand, man. It's just watching everyone the last 6 years. At least the ones who stood and the ones still here, man. It's been so, like, I'm so grateful for that, because you guys, you don't even know how you guys are so grown right now. And like you guys done, now I know for a fact that people out there at your age, for a fact, don't even have the things you guys have. And that's what you guys gotta bring. That's what we're gonna bring.
Yeah, man. So with that being said, man, I think we're gonna maintain this house and get the foundation right. And if we don't, once we built this foundation, bro, I think it's only once we built this strong foundation, what we have going on here, man, I think, like I said, it's just gonna be a platform for bigger and better things, man. And I'm excited. And I hope you guys stay tuned for our next podcast. Maybe let's get it.
It'll be fun because I'll be, we'll be more.
Oh, matter of fact, yo, peep this background I got right here. I actually got this from IG. Shout out to Meanwhile back in Queens. I had to. Once I saw this, I was like, I actually saw it today, and I was just like, yo, this backdrop, this backdrop is for way go. Let me just type that in there. It's exactly how it sounds. Meanwhile back in Queens, like. I had to put this plug there because these guys, IG, obviously they represent for Queens, but man, these guys right here, bang, throw that up there. Whoa, edit. Still learning this. All right, we're just gonna leave it at that. Shout out to these guys.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
Shout out to these guys.
Yo, when he was switching, bro, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that whole switching thing, trust me, I'm gonna work on it, bro. Right. I'm gonna work on it. Still learning.
Signal, like it's switching. Boom.
So listen, man, let's keep this going. Press that like button, peace. You like, subscribe, and share, right? So appreciate you guys being on here, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode of In the Cut. Peace.